Hey everyone, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all doing fine. As always, comments and likes are appreciated as they do help with the algorithm. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, at the time of me making this video, the entire cryptocurrency market is in the green. Bitcoin over the last 24 hours had a very dramatic move. If you look at the charts, it's kind of going like this and then shoots straight up, which is the kind of movement we were talking about before as the price was moving down, which means it's usually done by a large number of whales. And Bitcoin returned to $43,000 per coin. Keeping in mind, this is actually excellent, of course, as the price goes up. But we were just having discussions where people were telling us that Bitcoin needed to move down to $20,000 in order for it to move up. Once again, disproving this idea that Bitcoin has to hit the very low bottom of depression before the price will actually move in the other direction. It says over the last weekend, Bitcoin has been showing healthy signs of a trend reversal. And well, as of press time, it has moved past its 50-day moving average. As of press time, Bitcoin is trading at 3% up at $42,799. Of course, this fluctuates by $100 or $200 depending on the actual minute. This could be the end of the long-term correction and consolidation for the world's largest cryptocurrency. There are a very large number of analysts right now who are talking about exactly before where Bitcoin was, obviously, and where it currently is right now. If you remember last week, one of the main discussions that we continued to have over and over is how high exactly Bitcoin had to go in order to actually show that there was a trend reversal in sight. The number that we kept on hearing as Bitcoin was near 30,000-ish, whatever that number was, that we had to pass by 40,000. Cool, got it. The number that we then had to pass by was 42,000, which we currently have done. If you look around at the actual price news for Bitcoin, it appears as if the number 42,500 is where we need to close above. There is no closing of the cryptocurrency market. It usually has to do with over a 24-hour period after the world has spun around once. If we are still above this number, this will then indicate that over the past 24 hours, we have stuck above this number, obviously, and therefore Bitcoin looks ready to move to 45,000, which is also the number that we heard last year, I believe, from a number last week, from a number of other Bloomberg analysts who were saying that if we can break above 45,000, that is the complete trend reversal, and therefore get ready for fireworks, as they continue to say. It says technical analysis, Ethereum smashes heavy resistance. Next bullish levels, traders should watch, I guess, the other numbers as it continues going up. There's always some really weird news like this, always talking about bullish levels and this so-and-so, and where everyone should be looking at next. Basically, don't look down. Just make sure that prices continue to rise, at least in the short term. And then on top of that, of course, not to be left out, this happens every single time that we have any type of optimistic movements within the cryptocurrency markets. You can even look at the, remember the extreme fear to greed chart? We are currently just edging out of normal fear in the market, as a lot of people, especially from the leftover from last year, are anticipating a lot of very strong movement in the cryptocurrency market. And I know it's not the most exciting news out there, but the idea of finally having regulations within the cryptocurrency market is also spurring a lot of movement as well within the space. The news that we got earlier, maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that, I don't know if I even fully covered it, that allegedly the SEC is finally, the US SEC is finally going to give not proper regulation, but just a bit more clarity as to exactly what they control and what they do not control. Because as of right now, the SEC is trying to take over the entirety of the cryptocurrency space, thinking that they control something that they did not control. And apparently they're going to say exactly what falls under their jurisdiction, what they actually, because I think they're trying to also gain control of the NFT space in some sort of way, but that's never going to actually work because that's not how the actual network or the marketplaces work. So I think they're going to have a very fun time trying to get that under their control. The news that we had from India about 10 days ago, that allegedly they're not going to be banning it, told you that, and that they're going to try and impose a 30% tax on cryptocurrencies rather than actually banning them. There was also a huge amount of backlash after we went over that story from a number of people in India within the cryptocurrency space who told the government, if you try and implement a 30% tax, you're going to have a brain drain, which is basically where people who are the brains of said cryptocurrency operations within the country would pack up their stuff, get on a train, get on a bus, get on a plane, and go somewhere else, because that's simply how the world works right now. Despite the current volatility of the crypto market, strong bullish sentiment still exists, especially for Bitcoin. A recent analysis by Bloomberg, which also gives insight to Ethereum's near-term performance, is calling a 100,000 Bitcoin as the next key threshold for its price. The analysis is supported by the fundamentals and growing adoption of Bitcoin in the market that has placed Bitcoin in a unique position to surge to new highs. Meanwhile, the price of Bitcoin has been recovering from the dip in the last few days. The fundamentals have always been there. They have not gone away. The most dramatic time that we've had was when China banned mining and Bitcoin for the 5th time again. It's not a joke. It was literally the 5th time that they had done so since the year 2017. Once again, I know that especially a lot of other YouTubers, the main point of their channel is to kind of hype you up, to tell you where prices are going to go and how high things are going to be and exactly how rich you're going to be in the next couple of weeks, days, years, and how hot your next girlfriend is going to be. But this is why I make sure to actually talk about the fundamentals of Bitcoin on the channel. I try to give you as much real news as I possibly can, especially when it comes to the idea of the Bitcoin network. We know that Bitcoin's slow, but adoption still has skyrocketed. We know that Bitcoin only does 3 transactions per second, but it's still transacting trillions of dollars every single month. We know that we had at some point with the mining stop in China, but the mining levels have returned, which is a huge indication that people who are mining Bitcoin have kept and are turning their computers on. You know what I mean by computers, in order to be able to continue doing calculations, because they believe that Bitcoin's price is still undervalued, and therefore they're going to make a profit as Bitcoin moves up. And this is why they're using that amount of electricity and that amount of money to mine Bitcoin, because they see it as a future profit in the future. So when you look at all these metrics, and those are just 3 of the actual 7 metrics that people actually look for, Bitcoin's doing extremely well. The move down in prices that we've seen across the entire market have basically been, I won't say the word fraudulent, but you understand what I'm saying. We are now playing a rich person's game. This is no longer a normal person or a nerdy person type of space. This is now like institutional money, trillions of dollars circulating around us at all times, trying to figure out exactly how to move down Bitcoin's price to be able to accumulate enough Bitcoin to then move Bitcoin's price up so that the richest people on the planet still remain the richest people out there. So yeah, at the moment, prices are up. Everyone's cautiously optimistic, if you will. I'm not getting my hopes up until we pass by $50,000. $45,000 does nothing to me. We hit $70,000 before on a random whim. I want to see Bitcoin pass by 50,000 so that I can know, okay, cool, this is actually going to happen, because anything else is kind of just getting your hopes up. But the analysts are all predicting. It says, when will there be $100,000 Bitcoin? The article doesn't even state so. Surprise. The Bloomberg analysts made sure to not give an actual time frame. I assume this is because of the fiasco, if you will, that we had last year when everyone was asking Plan B exactly when Bitcoin was going to go to these astronomical numbers, and that ended up not really panning out. If everything continues to move in price, I know this is going to be a logic bomb. If things continue to move at the current rate that they're going, we should hit $45,000 extremely easily by the middle or the end of this week. The one main catalyst that I'm really looking forward to is the actual Ethereum 2.0. I know it's been spoken about for thousands of years at this point. But as I said before, every coin on every crypto exchange is tied to Bitcoin, but they're also tied to Ethereum. If Bitcoin does well, the entire market does well. If Ethereum does extremely well, every other altcoin also does well as well. Bitcoin may not move at the same exact percentage that Ethereum is moving, but the entire market will have one major uplift. And usually what we've seen before, 2 or 3 times before in the past, if Ethereum is doing extremely well and any movement downward in Bitcoin's price doesn't seem to have an effect on Ethereum, Bitcoin reverses and also does very well as well. So yeah, we will see by the end of this week. We should have a very clear idea as to where the market is going to go. How funny that we were hearing so much last week that there were so many barriers to us passing by 38,000, 40,000, and 42,000, and now we've done it over the course of a 36-hour period. So there's logically nothing stopping us from hitting $50,000 except for nonsense. That's all the price news. And yeah, let's move on. Very popular in the news over the last couple of days, GameStop and Immutable X are launching a $100 million joint fund to invest in gaming NFT projects. According to an announcement on Thursday, Immutable X is a layer 2 scaling platform built on top of Ethereum, which will also be partnering with the company to power its forthcoming blockchain-based marketplace, co-founder Robbie Ferguson told Blockworks. He said, "We are going to market to try to bring NFT to games. The $100 million fund is going to be dedicated to everyone with indie games, to AAA publishers who want to come and build on Immutable X and also want to have access to GameStop's distribution and marketplace." For those of you who did not hear, you must have at some point. Beginning of 2021, when the entire fiasco between AMC Theaters and GameStop and their stock skyrocketing and Fight Wall Street, yada, 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 was going on, GameStop decided to have a bit of a heavy, not even a bit of, a very heavy rebranding from the video game world, and then announced their foray into the NFT space. This NFT space thing that they're trying to enter has now become a partnership with Immutable X, who is, if your ears are ringing as I'm saying that or have perked up, you know them from the company Vivi, the Vivi being the carbon neutral NFT marketplace. It's an app who's also built on top of Immutable X as well. So will this be popular? Maybe. If you look at the actual sentiment from a lot of people within the actual gaming community, a lot of people tend to not really care for the idea of NFTs. A lot of people still think of them as these heavy carbon producing, terrible digital asset things that only the wealthy are using and or trying to make more money from. There are tons of videos and documentaries on it, how you'd be quite surprised to find out how people outside of the cryptocurrency space actually view the cryptocurrency space and how they view NFTs. I think a lot of times we forget that we are in a gigantic echo chamber and that people outside of our space do not care for Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrencies, nonetheless NFTs. Go watch a video on it. It's actually quite fascinating. I've been in crypto for 6-7 years now, maybe a little bit longer, and I simply wasn't aware of what was happening outside of the space. So the idea is that GameStop is trying to make their entire thing NFT based, not only being able to buy, sell, trade NFTs, artworks on the actual platform, but bringing it to gaming as well. Which we spoken about last year as well. The idea being, if you are playing this game and your character has a great shield that you've been using for a very long time, they want to NFT it, and therefore any other game that is built on top of that blockchain, Immutable X, therefore you'll be able to simply trade that asset to another game and use that shield inside of that other world as well. The concept and the idea makes total sense. It's just a matter of if or when I think this idea will actually catch on. So, of course, this is very popular. Anything with GameStop in it, anything with cryptocurrencies in the mix, them working together, especially for a $100 million grant being, given to people who are trying to build on top of this platform. I think it could work out. It's just a matter of time, I assume. That's the GameStop Immutable X entering the cryptocurrency space even more so than before. Was it GameStop who was also announcing that they were going to think about having a cryptocurrency exchange on their website? I'm not really sure. It sounds familiar, but I can't really put it. No. This was the beginning of 2020. Wow, 2 years have passed already. That was 2 years ago. How is that even possible? That's really weird that time is flying so quick, especially with all the nonsense going on. Anyway, that's the Immutable X news. And yeah, let's move on. It's kind of weird that it's been 2 years already. The road to Flare's much anticipated airdrop to XRP holders is in the home stretch, according to the company's chief executive. Hugo Filion, CEO and co-founder of Flare, said on Twitter that the company is working to upgrade their Songbird network before the airdrop of Spark tokens. He said, for all those asking where their Flare tokens are, we are upgrading Songbird before the end of March 2022. With the final 2 protocols required before Flare launch, this will then allow us to proceed to Flare launch. A full roadmap to Flare launch will be released in the coming weeks. Flare launch. So as far as I can understand, this is news that we had around the middle of 2021. I think there was a company called Flare, got it, who announced that they were now, and I'm going to be wrong on this on some level because this wasn't, really my kind of news, that there was some type of airdrop that was going to be happening for people who were on the XRP network, because I believe that Flare is going to try and bring smart contracts. Yeah, there we go. Smart contracts to XRP and Litecoin. And therefore, if you were holding XRP, you were going to get some of this airdrop. And I believe it was scheduled for around September, October of last year. That clearly has not taken place. And I assume they're going to be trying to figure out exactly how or when to do that. And therefore, I assume he is responding in this passive-aggressive way, because he's probably gotten thousands of messages from people saying, hey, where's my money? When Flare launches, the company says that eligible holders will immediately receive 15% of their claimable Spark tokens and then claim an average of 3% per month, carrying on for a minimum of 25 months and a maximum of 34 months. That's actually not a bad idea, and I think this will, I mean, it's very a random sentence, but I think this will actually lead to other cryptocurrency projects doing the exact same thing. Normally what would happen before in the past, and is still currently happening, is if you hold Ethereum, random coin, and I hold TMI coin, I would give you TMI coin simply for holding Ethereum. And it's one gigantic airdrop at once. 99.99% of the time, what happens is that people take the new money and go, cool, free money. And then they sell it for Bitcoin or sell it for Ethereum or some other coin that they actually care about, just being completely honest. But the idea of giving only 15% and then over the next 2-3 years having that rollout, that then becomes a type of monthly income that you have going in to your wallet that you can spend, do whatever you kind of want with, or even leave some of it to be able to speculate on. I think that's very fascinating. I think if more projects did that, they'd have a lot longer lifespan if you really stretched it out, because a lot of people get rid of their tokens because they see no actual value in the project on its first day. But if you're continuously seeing the price rise of the project, and at the first of the month, you're going to get another payment for the next 3 years from this company, it has a very different feeling to it. So I have no idea who was eligible for this airdrop, but this was also relatively popular news, as I assume people who are holding XRP have been waiting for this airdrop for quite some time. That's the XRP airdrop. Flare, what was the other one? Songbird network news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news, the total number of Cardano wallets rose to a new high just 2 weeks after Cardano welcomed its first decentralized application. The number of unique wallets on the Cardano blockchain holding ADA, obviously, has hit a new all-time high, surpassing the previous record from December 2021. There are now 3 million wallets that are holding Cardano. The last recorded one was 2.5 million addresses. I think it says they're somewhere around here. There are 5,000 new ones per day, somewhere around there. Yeah, there we go. 5,122 new wallets being added daily. I find it really, the word's not funny, but towards the end of last year, there was so much hype around Cardano and what they were going to do, and the news kind of disappeared for 3 or 4 weeks. I made the video where I was like, hey, where's stuff going on? And since then, there's been a gigantic surge in the amount of news for Cardano, what they're doing, their decentralized exchanges. All I can say is keep it up. There's still random price predictions flowing around as far as how high Cardano can go. A lot of people are expecting between the $5 to $10 range should things continue to surge in the cryptocurrency market, and also just the liquidity pools, Cardano being locked up, and all that other kind of stuff. I think it's completely logical that Cardano, wasn't the previous all-time high $3, or am I completely confusing that with something else? I probably am. So anyway, yeah, that's the Cardano news. Very cool. I assume adoption is going to continue, as Cardano is one of the largest projects out there. They continue to have stuff being built on top of them, and therefore, logically, it should do well in the future. And to finish things off, this was really popular news today, and I don't really understand why. In a major step, the Eastern European country of Belarus has decided that it will let investment funds seek exposure to digital assets. Belarus's Ministry of Finance for Public Consultations has published amendments that seek to lure some investment funds. The department said that despite it not having the necessary regulatory framework for collective investments, not a single fund has registered so far. Wow. Interesting. One of the major reasons behind this reluctance could be that funds aren't allowed to invest in crypto assets. Wow, you're getting it. The Ministry of Finance further acknowledged that the market demand for cryptocurrencies is growing at a very fast pace. Remember, we've discussed this how many times before. If countries don't do anything to make it attractive for people to go to their country or within their borders to be able to trade, buy, sell, hold, investment fund, hedge fund, something X cryptocurrencies, why would anybody go there? Of course, there's been zero demand and no funds have registered because why would they want? I mean, you have to make it sweet for them. It's the exact idea of adopting cryptocurrencies. So many countries are going to be left behind. And all this tells me is that someone behind the scenes told them, hey, if you had done this 6 years ago, you'd have around a good $47 billion that would have been made for the government just because you had a 4% taxation fee, or anyone who made a cryptocurrency fund for the first 2 years has no taxes. And then after that, they only have a 3 to maybe a 7% tax levied on top of them. But if you do nothing, you get nothing. As a result, the ministry has come forward to make some amendments to the decree that will lift the restrictions on these funds and will allow them to simultaneously operate as security dealers and residents of the Belarus high-tech park. So good. Hope this works out for them. I know that it will. I assume they've gotten at least one phone call over the last 24 hours, if not the last couple of days. I find it so interesting how far that we've come in such a short amount of time. Not even the fact that Bitcoin has only been around for 13 years, which is a little insane to think about, but when you have to make sure that you change your laws to make sure that people go to your country to be able to invest because they see the other countries, I'm sure they're looking at Germany and especially Switzerland right now, and maybe even Canada, like, wow, look how much money they're making. If you allow funds to be able to do these things when the demand is there, they're going to do them. This is why, once again, we have the 300 banks across America this year who are going to be getting into the cryptocurrency space. Why would they be able to do that? Because there's tons of money and they want to make extra money. And this is why you understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this news was oddly popular. Like, this was one of the more popular news stories of the day. I only have one tab because it doesn't deserve more than one tab. Let's be completely honest. But sure, I'm sure the government will do just fine with this. And hopefully they're not too late when it comes to trying to lure companies to their country. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. GBU Wally, formerly known as Professor Wally, Darren Davis, How's Life Austin, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and let's move on, Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, FUDWISER Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plum Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something and the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mo Barazi, Jojo Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Pat Turnoster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohamaroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cody 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Wish III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitchchest, Everyday, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk Twitter Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Ramacho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola and Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Hello to you out there. I see more and more of you every single day. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who has left a like, has commented, or is still here listening to me talk about this market. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $42,600. It is up by 2.49%. You can see all the dramatic movements. There was a movement up, slammed back down, and then immediately ran back up once again. The market is all over the place. I don't even think the market knows what it's trying to do. XRP is currently up by 14%. I assume this is all for the news of the airdrop, that it is still going to happen, and therefore more people are trying to accumulate. I'm not really sure. There could also be some other type of XRP news behind the scenes that was simply not in the news yet. Cardano is up by 4%. The market is once again relatively doing pretty okay, just off of the actual movements of Bitcoin. And this also tells me that these altcoins are also able to move up on their own, but are simply not doing so and are waiting consistently for Bitcoin to make the first move. Dogecoin is up by 5%. Shiba Inu is up by 22% at the same exact time. There was no Shiba Inu news, and there has not been any significant Shiba Inu news in the last 2 weeks, which is quite surprising because we were always getting Shiba Inu news over the course of a 3-month period. It was in the news every single day. Anything else crazy? Chainlink is up by 4%. Uniswap is up by 3.6%. Algorand is up by 4%. Decentraland is up by 7%. Phantom is up by 9%. Lumens is up by 8% as well. Leo is up by 15% at the same time. Axie Infinity is up by 10%. So it seems like a lot of the metaverse coins are currently popping upward. VeChain Thor is up by 6%. Elron eGold is up by 6% as well. I think that's about it. And IOTA still coin number 49. I'm not sure how they're doing it. $21 million worth of trading volume. I wish I could understand life. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, and or supporting, or all three. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.